hola, it's me, Boricua Angie. So, this is a special podcast show of Thoughts of a Light Skinned Woman. I basically wanted to have a conversation because of something that recently came up, and I just wanted to share it with everybody. So, I'm very open about things, and I don't feel like, we need to hide it. We need to be ashamed of anything because like I mentioned, I've been in therapy and it's been a great journey because as most of you can see, it's been a difference. You can see a huge difference, and it's been a work in progress. It's something that I'm going to continue. So with that being said, as I stated, when 2023 started, I was like, I was going to nip things in the butt. I was going to make changes, a lot of things, as you know, when it came to like, I'm not going to accept certain things. I'm not going to settle for less or anything like that. So it's been, how you see it, like it's a journey and you're trying to do something, you want to stay on track and you never want to fall off. So, me, I've been being as positive as I can be. I have days when I'm not. It happens. I know I post a lot of quotes and you see my reels because these are things that I can actually relate to, that I understand, that I've been through it. I might be going through it, or it's something that I find that has a very deep meaning in it. So, with that being said, so when I said this is a special podcast because I wanted to talk about something, like I said, I feel that for all of us, we are, times have changed a lot. And I feel like we need to look at things differently and be okay. Like I said before, it's okay to tell someone no. It's okay to set boundaries. It's okay for a lot of things because it's all about you and your mental health, which is always very important, right? So I'm in a place where I'm just like, oh no, he didn't, because that's where I'm at. Um, there's something that I wanted to read because when I saw the reel, at first I was like, this possibly cannot be for me. Maybe the person was just sharing it with me just to see because I'm kind of like, whoa. I was like, I do not fit in that category. I was like, that has absolutely nothing to do with me because if anybody who actually knows me, knows the type of person that I am. I've put in a lot of work for this to have anybody else tell me otherwise about like who I am as a person and as a woman. So I'm gonna read it. So the real was something about, it says something about, oh, run twin because she ain't the one. So in the real it says, I'm done with that stage. I'm done with building women. I'm done with building a chick. I'm done with saving women. I'm done with Captain Save a Ho. Let's stop saving women. You got to look at women for who they are right now, not for what they could be for right now. And women will see the potential, talking about men, women will see the potential in us and wait for that to grow. So when I was hearing this, I was like, I know that ain't about me, not little old me. I was like, that cannot be about me. Sorry. No, wrong person. I just took it as like, that can't be me. But so I was just like, I shared it as well and say, in life, things go both ways. I feel that for men and women, it's not just only for men to feel that way about women. It's the same thing that goes for women too, about having to build someone up and be there. And it's a lot. Like I said, times have changed when it comes to men and women and the interactions and everything else that happens with it. Me, when I feel that I'll be honest, when something that I know just kind of like, irks me a little, it puts me in a place because it's kind of like, damn, do you know what I've been through? Do you know what it's taken me to get here? Do you know how much it's taken for me to change and be a different person because I'm getting older and not younger? And with the lessons and the things that I've learned, and the fact that I'm like, I am looking for someone eventually to connect with, build with, have something with. But again, I've mentioned before, if that doesn't happen, right? I was like, I'm okay with that. That's a part of life. Sometimes things work out, sometimes they don't. If I end up staying single, then that's what it is and that's what it will be. And I'm okay with accepting that, right? Um, but it's like, again, you put in that work and the fact of like, anybody who knows me, again, like I'm a single mother of three, right? My oldest is 23, and then my daughter is 18, and then I have a 15-year-old. Where I live at right now, I've been in this building for like 11 years. 11 years. I can say that everything I have here, I've worked for it. That's all me. That's as a person, as a human being. That's what you have to do when you have children, because it's called, that's a responsibility. It's a responsibility to hold the family down. That's what I did. Me alone, as a woman, as a mother, that was my job. And I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of that, because again, I did that. I did this. Um, I just know that nobody ever, if this ever went to the point of like a whole bunch of people ever saw this, nobody can ever say that, nah, I did that for Angie, whatever she got. No, I did this myself. Hard work, had to hustle, get little side jobs. All of this was because of me. Because again, I have a responsibility. I have kids. I want to keep a roof over my head. Um, Having to work. All of these things is what happens when you become an adult as well. This is a part of life. You know what I mean? This is a part of life, and that's where we're at. And again, I'm going to say I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of where I'm at right now. But one thing that when it gets to certain things, it's all about like respect. And then when people try to be disrespectful to me, it's just like, no, honey boo boo child, I don't think so. Because I can say that I am a strong, independent woman. Because I'm gonna say it again, I have never had a man live here with me. No man has lived here with me. Nobody's can say they paid my bills, they bought anything, because that's where I'm going with it. I've done this. And when I saw that reel again, I was just like, it's a good conversation to have, to discuss this, to have about it, because I'm like, that's great. That must be for the other women out there. I don't need no one help, nobody's help building me up. As most of you know, what I'm do, I hustle. You see what I be doing on social media? I do my own thing, man. Look, I even got my own coquito. And when I tell you, it's the real Puerto Rican way, the real coquito. I'm talking about, you're still gonna get that flavor, and you're still gonna get drunk from it. So I have my things that I like to do. And me doing a podcast, having those conversations, the taboo talks and all that. And I love it. And I love talking about it, because it's like, if nobody else is gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? When I said that I'm gonna be that voice, I'm gonna be the person who's gonna talk about it. I don't have to feel ashamed. I don't ever have to be embarrassed about anything. You know what I'm saying? I've always had one of these things about, I've never liked people judging me. I've always hated that. Um, I've come a long way from that too, of like getting to the point of like, to stop kind of judging people and look at things differently, things with like an open mind, and trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, because sometimes in life we all go through hardships, a lot of things happen, and I get it, right? And when it happens to me, I'm just like, ooh, pump your brakes, because I'm over here like, unless you can walk on water, unless you can walk on water, let me know. Let me know, because that's where I'm at with a lot of stuff. If you can walk on water, does it mean still you can kind of go there? Not really, but I'm just trying to figure out like, two plus two equals what? Two plus one equals what? As they say, make it make sense. But I'm just also, like I said, I've been trying to be on a very positive track. Like I said, for anybody out there who's been watching my podcast, just know, like I said, a new year's coming. A new year's coming, and it's time to say F you to people, whether friends, family, relationships, whatever they are. It's that time because I was just talking to one of my friends and I said, you know what? Stress is a killer. Stress is a killer. People will be out there trying to test you, trying to mess with you, even with somebody that I was cool with, a so-called friend who wasn't really my friend, because the same thing she did when she was my friend, she's doing now the same thing that we're not friends. And I got to the point where it's like there's moments when you have to speak up, and I had to do that too with her. Well, not to her, but when it came to my job, because I feel like now somebody want to be nitpicking at everything I do. So it's kind of like, no, we're not doing that, because I look at that like, what is the problem? Are you mad because you see how well I'm doing and that kind of bothers you? And it's okay. That's life. People sometimes wish for your failure. People just don't like to see you grow. People don't like to see you in a better place. And that's when you really need to realize that these people are not your friends. These are not the people who care about you. And that's just what it is. So, like I said, I'm in a place where I'm not going to tolerate certain stuff anymore. You know me when I've been on here and I've made jokes about the blockety block, 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 and everything else because, yeah, I mean, we have that right. It's okay for a lot of things just to say no to it, not to allow the disrespect, because I feel like all of that has to do with your well being and your mental health. All of these things, and I've said it before in my other shows, like all of these things, as we get older and just as times in the world keeps changing, all of these things are very important. Like people will try you and try to mess with you. Don't ever let anybody try to like put you down. Nobody ever, like, you know what I mean? Don't ever let anybody put you in a place where you have to be able to know who you are, what you do, and where you stand. To never let anybody just come and just, think that they can just feel like they could put you in a little box or try to make you feel less than what you are, because it should never be like that. And again, you guys already know where I'm at. As you know, as you've seen me, as you've been watching me on social media with IG, Facebook, you already see where I'm at. If I don't love myself, shit, who else is gonna love me? I gotta love myself. No matter how many I take 1,000 selfies, it's okay. Either you like it or you don't. You're gonna like them or you don't. But I want to enjoy every moment, every day, every moment when I'm like, yo, if I wake up and I be on some like Beyonce type thing, like I'm feeling myself, like I feel great. So I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna do it. You know, that's what it's all about. You have to be able to love yourself, self love, self care, all that good stuff. Like I said, I'm in a better place than I was before, and there's just certain things where I'm just kind of like not really accepting or tolerating anymore, as most of you already know. You hear my stories when I'm sending these little voice messages, and it's just I feel like I be making people's days, because it's kind of like I'm over here telling like a whole story, like a drama story of like what happened at work, what's happening outside, So, but again, I just wanted just to have that discussion, because again, like just don't let anybody mess with your peace. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise, because like I said, with so much stuff that has happened with, like I said, depression, mental health, suicide, you really have to be able to have a, what do you call it? You have to be able to have like that, a strong mind. You have to be strong, because it was like the same thing when you're a kid in school, and you have to be dealing with kids not knowing that when you become an adult that all of that was just BS. People are going to be cruel. Kids are cruel even now as adults. People are still cruel. So I think it's basically, oh, you have to have that tough skin, you know. And I'm having that tough skin because when I walk outside, it's like, yeah, I know you see my style, you see how I look. It's for me. It's not for you. And that's where a place where we have to get at. You have to be able to feel comfortable with yourself. If you want to dress a certain way, look a certain way, so what? Do it. Again, I always look at things like nobody's paying my bills. Nobody lives here with me. Nobody's doing nothing for me that I can say, you know what? You are your own person. You do what you want to do, be you, and that's all that matters. Right? Again, I'm just kind of like, because when I saw that, I was just on some like, that's not me. Um, it's one of those things like you better ask somebody. You better ask somebody. But yeah, 43, going on 44 next year. Shit, you know. I keep just making these jokes where I'm just like, you have to just freaking live life. Screw it. Live life unapologetically. Like, we're only here for like this moment here. You don't know when you know what you call it. Like, you don't know when the Grim Reaper is gonna come knocking at your door. We don't know any of that. We don't know anything that when we wake up the next day, go to sleep, none of that. That's why I think I've been in the place where I've been at, because that's the bigger picture that I'm looking at. I'm not gonna be here forever. We're not gonna be here forever. So why, you know, worry about what anybody else is doing? But at the same time, like I said, I don't like the disrespect, because anybody who knows me, I'm just kind of like, I could come back with it. I could come back with it. I got jokes too. I got a lot of things to say as well. I just, you know, that's where I'm at with it. Like, don't do it, because I got jokes too. I could talk crap if I wanted to, but you know, again, therapy, people, therapy, therapy is a good thing. A lot of people out there, I've had a, oh my god, I had someone who was talking in a way like, you know how when you just sit down and you just like listen to people with the things that they be telling you, because I had someone who was like telling me about where they're at and how they don't tolerate, but then the big surprise was when I heard something extra, and it was a little bit kind of like, how that was another thing, like, how do you accept certain things when people are telling you that they're like still involved with their ex, you know what I mean? Like, how do you go about that? Like, how do you, and then the tricky part was when I was told that there's children involved, so then it's kind of like me, because I've never been in that boat, so my response was more like, yo, just cut the person off, like, just leave them alone, because I mean, it sucks that there's a kid involved, but that should never be like the little, the little string, the little puppet, the little thing that people hold over you just to keep you around. And this is what's been happening. These are the things that continue to happen. But like I said, I've been more of like taking the time to listen, to watch people, how they move and what they do. And trust me, for this year of 2023, I've avoided so much that I didn't have to spend 6 months dealing with nobody's BS, not a year, none of that, not investing no time, no money. I've nipped it in the butt, and that's where I left it at. So I'm going to say it again. A new year's coming. Do what you got to do for you. Screw anybody else. Don't ever feel bad about because of family, whatever. Like, this is another thing. Look at my cat. That's another thing. Like, that's just life. It's okay, because now when you keep yourself in a situation, it's only you that's gonna keep stressing out. I'm at that point that I'm like, I'm good. I'm family, no family. I have no issues, because that's where I'm at, right? That's where I'm at. I don't have a problem with it. Cutting people off, not speaking to them. I'm perfectly okay with that. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people aren't okay with that. But my whole thing, like I said, I'm just talking about it because, like I said, you know who you are, you know where you've been, you know what you've been doing. Don't ever let anybody ever disrespect you, anybody ever put you into a smaller, none of that, because that's what I've been working on. And this stuff, like I said, it takes time. It's taking years to get to that point where you can see things for what they are and not allow people to do certain things anymore. And like I said, I'm okay. Like I said, I just recently had a cut. Well, they cut me off, but it was more of like, you know what, you did the job for me because again, you weren't a friend. You were just kind of just annoying the hell out of me. Annoying the hell out of me. And it was just like, seriously? Like, that wasn't a friend. That's not a friend at all. So, again, look at that. We are in November. December is right around the corner. Get ready to eat your turkey. Get together with family, be thankful, all that good stuff. And then get ready to. People probably putting up the Christmas trees now. Who knows? Because look at the stores. They didn't even put nothing for Thanksgiving. We already jumped right into Christmas. Like Halloween came and went. And look at that. Like the new year is just right around the corner. And I've been saying it every time I put it in my post. Whatever I did for this year, I'm keeping it going until next year. I don't have time for like any of that anymore. I don't really have time for people, to be wasting my time. If you're not serious, if you don't know who I am by now, then you'll never know. And I'm okay with that. I just don't want nobody wasting my time because I just keep trying to tell people, you know how that whole thing, I'm like, I'm in a healing phase. I'm in a better place, but leave that what is it, that sleeping monster, that green eye monster, leave that monster sleeping. Leave it alone because you know how when you try to put up that little sign, that little warning sign, and you try to tell people about like, yo, you know how I am. You know how I am. um Leave it alone because people still be trying me, and then they don't even know that they could end up being the next one's blocked because I try to tell them very nicely of like, don't mess with me on that level. Like I said, I'm single. I could say I'm ready to mingle, but nobody's really ready for me. Nobody's nobody's ready for me. It's a lot of it's a lot of talk. Anybody who knows me knows what kind of person I am, and nobody's really at that level to like handle me and accept me for who I am, how I look, and everything else. And that's always been the issue too. But again, I'm looking at the time because this thing of you try to share stuff, and it's some things take, it only allows like a 30 minutes. I'm doing the live on IG, so that'll be on there no matter what. But again, mi gente, my beautiful people, my friends, you guys already know. You guys know me so well. You guys see the difference, and I appreciate you for all those who have reached out and the beautiful things that I've heard, and I totally appreciate it. And that's why I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep it going. You're still gonna see me doing my little podcast talking about everything and anything, and I'm just gonna keep it going. People be saying that I be glowing. I'm like, I gotta glow. But at the same time, I've been making sure that I've been taking care of myself because again, age is creeping up, and I was trying to tell somebody one time, I don't have it, but I do use those. Oh my god, this is bad when I keep forgetting the names. It's like a little, it's like a stone. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a little flat, kind of like glass stone thing, and you just kind of like you can pass it. That's what I've been using for my face. I've also been starting this new soap that I've been using. That I think it's been helping because when you see them pimples, but I haven't been seeing the pimples, so I guess it's working. Uh, yeah, it's all about taking care of yourself. I be surprised when I hear people making jokes talking about their knees are creaking and stuff. I don't have that. It's just mostly my feet. Because if you see how I do with the kids, I'll be rolling on the floor. I'm rolling around on the floor. I could freaking get down on the floor, still get back up. So I think it's all in your mind. It's all in your mind of how you feel and how you see yourself. And that's basically where I'm at with it. So, yeah. Like I said, don't let anybody ever disrespect. Don't let anybody ever call you out your name. And especially again, when you know who you are and what you do and what you bring to the table, that's what you got to do. And I know my friends and people who are out there listening, like I said, don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared to start something new. And also, just because the new year's coming, there should not be no new resolutions because the new year's coming. The resolutions should start now. Do what you need to do. Start it now. Don't start it when 2024, because you know what? Then you're never gonna do it. You're never gonna do it, and it's never gonna happen. That's my advice. Start resolutions now. Anything you want to do, start it now. Fuck, cut people off now. Cut people off now. Do what you got to do. Do it. Do it now. Don't do it later. Don't wait. Don't wait for the Happy New Year, because I've been in that boat with this whole like resolutions, and I kind of stopped that. It's either you're gonna do it or you're not, right? So, but other than that, you all see, I'm happy. Another thing about my post, if you guys are curious about what's going on, I think I mentioned it right here in the beginning of it. I just love sharing some of the quotes. Everything that I post doesn't always necessarily have to be like me going through it. It doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Like sometimes people can read into that, but it doesn't mean that I'm always going through it. I just, like I said, I love it. I love some of these quotes. Some of these quotes are deep. Um, it's just, I just love it. That shit just keeps popping up every time I'm like searching for something. I don't know what it is. I think it's what you call like with the algorithm. So it's kind of like I see a quote, boom, I share it, I love it, and then all these awesome quotes keep coming up, and I'm like, damn. I was like, I'm feeling all of these. Fuck it, I'm just gonna put them all on my damn page. I'm gonna share all of these, because it's true. The ones I've shared talks about like healing and knowing your worth and all that, and you guys, I'm here. Can I say I'm the living example? You could say that. I think it takes time, and it's not easy when you kind of try to stay positive, and you always want to stay positive, but you want to look at the bigger picture, and I think I could say that I am a very spiritual person, and I'm always talking about the universe and everything else that be going on. I'm cool if people find that if they don't relate, it's cool. But I do believe in all that stuff, and the universe is listening, the universe is watching, the universe got your back. So, with that being said, mi gente, it is Saturday, and I'm gonna say, since some of you are watching me right now, some of you are watching me live. So, I did mention that tomorrow my band and I are performing at the New York City Marathon in downtown Brooklyn, and I will also be doing a solo. So I got to get myself, well, not right now, but I got to pump myself up for that day because I'm going to be singing Eye of the Tiger. So that should be cool. It's going to be great. I was there last year. Um, it was fantastic seeing all the different people. And that's another thing, too. Look at that. It's beautiful when you just there watching all the people who are running, young, old, very, and then the fact that we were still there until the very last runner was the very last runner that was actually still going, and that was like pretty cool. And then we got to see the guy who actually won first place when he came back to the same area, to the same location. So that was pretty cool. So let's see who wins this year. And again, we're going to be cheering the people on, letting them hear some great music as motivation, and that's what it's about. Doing things that you might be scared of, or just doing something just even once, just to say that you did it, because I've thought about it. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing a marathon, because again, you're going at the pace you want. And again, I've seen many people, shapes and sizes. You can tell some of them are just already natural runners, but it was pretty cool to watch. So again, hopefully you already know. Hit me up. Oh, did this thing disconnect? I'm hoping you guys can still hear me. This is not okay. Um, Hit me up if you want to know. I mean, it starts at 9. Like I started like at 9, but we don't start the solos until 10, and then my band performs at 12. So come on out. Let me know. Show some love. You guys really be having me like, come on, man. Just even once. Just once. Come show me some love. Even if you stay for like 15 minutes, just come show your face. Just show your face, cuz I try to be as supportive as I can when it comes to other things. I try to be there if I can. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it's all about. Just whenever you can, just come out, show support. So again, let me know if you're gonna come out again just to say hi, see me, not. Come and show some love, cause you know I'm always posting. I keep telling y'all, I'm always posting. Seems I'm gonna have to be more. I don't know if I can even say the word aggressive about it, but yeah. But other than that, again, I will be doing my next show on Tuesday, November 7th, because I wanted to talk about healing and that whole process and what it means. Because I feel like that's a lot. Uh, I've said it before, telling my friends like there's like so many unhealed people out there. This whole generational trauma, the stuff that we're carrying, and we're like, you know, still carrying that and put that's how they say like putting that onto other people. But hopefully I can get some people to come on the show and we can definitely talk about that. But other than that, hey, enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, be safe out there because we out here in New York City and it's crazy. You got to watch your back. I'm always having to watch my back. But other than that, have a great day and then enjoy. Bye.